So today I'm going to start milling up this, I thought it was a big piece of ash before I got the other one I have, but it's still a pretty big piece of ash. It's 32 inches on that end and displays out down here to I think 50 something inches at the crotch. There's a second crotch in the middle here. There is another limb coming up off this side, so this should be a pretty interesting log. I'm looking forward to getting it milled up and seeing what it looks like on the inside. So I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to try and roll this over so I can get to it with my log trailer a little bit easier. And I think I should be good here, but I might end up cutting this little knob off of here just to make it easier to slide around, but we'll see. Let me see if I actually roll this. Otherwise, I'll just roll it with the trailer. There we go. See if I can put something underneath it. There. So I got this thing positioned how I like it. I got this side up so it's closer to level with that end. Basically I got a bit of a taper here, so this section here is bigger diameter than it is down here. So I've raised this side up about half that difference in diameter so that the center line is pretty close to the same height off the bed all the way down here. Now when I'm milling logs, I'm almost always going to go for crotch figure, and this log here is going to have a lot of it in it, and the way you orient the log is going to determine how well a crotch figure presents itself in those boards. So a crotch is basically just where a limb came off the tree. So you can see I have a big limb here, there was a big limb up here, and then there were 3 limbs coming off the top of here. So you get that crotch figure, that basically that feather figure all the way down the board. You want the crotch to be oriented parallel to the bed or parallel to the cut. That's basically if you imagine this limb and then the rest of the tree kind of coming together and then going down. On here we're going to see a couple of different variations here. You're going to see a normal crotch figure, and you're going to see a way to eliminate crotch figure essentially, which is to orient the crotch so it's perpendicular to the bed. So the top one up here isn't going to produce any crotch figure because all of the banding, all the streaking is going to be if we're to saw it in this direction here. So this is going to end up being a bullseye for the first few cuts. You'll see basically a bullseye end grain kind of pattern here. There'll probably be some compression figure on this side from the way this limb as the tree grew. And then as we get down, we'll start getting the crotch figure from this limb, and then all of the crotch figure from up here will be in all of the boards. So even the boards with this bullseye will have this really nice crotch figure up here, at least in theory, because we haven't opened the log yet. could be nothing in there. It could be rotted, who knows? That's kind of the fun part about milling stuff. So then as we get down, we'll have probably some really big crotch figure from this big limb here, and then we'll still have the crotch figure from the tri-crotch up top here. So I've got the saw head set to 28 inches right now, and I'm gonna make the first cut. Again, with this, same thing as last time, I'm making this cut a little less conservative than I probably normally would, because I need this offcut to serve as the roof for my stack. And then in the future, when the lumber is all dried, I can always saw another board or two out of this roof section. I might have gotten a little too conservative on that. Cut is a little thin up here, but should still work as a roof, I think. Yeah, that's okay. So I got a 2-piece roof. I guess that'll make it easier to lug around. There we go. Oh boy, that's cool. Okay, so down here, you can see we got some compression figure from the way that limb as it grew. That's some more figure up here. Pretty cool, huh? So now I can decide how thick I want to make these. I'm thinking 10/4 on these. That should give plenty of leeway for shrinking and then flattening in the future. So these can end up at around 2 inches thick for like a tabletop or something. I'd also be interested to see how far in these end checks go. I don't think they go that far, but we'll see. So a fairly popular question is, how hot does the blade get? Kidding. This just came out of this cut with all of these on top of it. That is slightly warmer than the ambient temperature. This feels like maybe room temp, 70 degrees, and it's currently 50. So yeah, not hot at all. A lot of people also were wondering about like the wedging that I was doing. I'm only wedging the end of the cut so that as I exit the cut, the slab doesn't come down and grab the blade. It's not really to prevent the blade from dragging, because it doesn't drag because the set on the blade is actually wider, or it's about the same thickness as the band. So the teeth are clearing a bigger channel than the thickness of the band. That's the set. And then the weight of the slabs and the width of the band is not enough to actually compress that or collapse that kerf only 1.5 inches from the cutting edge. That would be a ridiculously large amount of sag on that blade, or on that slab, to grab that blade like that. I was wedging last time with the big maple slab was so I could actually get the chain underneath it after I made the cut. These ones, they're a little bit lighter, so I should be able to just pick up one end a little bit and put something between them. So I'm going to start stacking these and getting them out of the way. And I'm going to put them over here on the side of the driveway by these maple crotches that I did last time. And I'm going to get this piece of birch out of here so I actually can get to it after I'm done with the stacking. This birch tree was standing right over there where my neighbor's shed is now. It was removed in December, and he gave me the logs. So all the birch that you'll see me cut, or you have seen me cut, has been from him, as well as all the spruce that you see me cut. Those are all from his yard as well. Oh, the reds. Oh, it's beautiful. Check that out, huh? Pretty cool. That's awesome. With the cool bullseye. All right, for this, since this is end grain, I'm gonna hit that with some anchor seal to seal it up so it doesn't crack. I don't know where I put my little can, but this 5-gallon pail has been sitting out here this whole time. There. And that just helped this section to dry a little slower so it doesn't end up cracking, or cracking as badly. Let's get this one out of here. And when I get it picked up with the trailer, I'll do the other side. All right, just for some numbers here. Right here is 32 inches. Up here, we're at 40 inches. And down here so far, we're at 26. So still a pretty sizable cut. Cut's looking good. Take a little bit of dip through here. Not by much though. How's that look, huh? It was sunny and now it's cloudy again. think we're far enough through now, or I'm not gonna have to seal it anymore with anchor seal, so I can throw some water on here without having to worry about the water getting in the way of the anchor seal. Although I don't know on this if it's gonna make that much of a difference visually. It seems to be showing up all right on camera. Yeah, that helps down here, that's for sure. How about that, huh? A little bit of crotch figure there. We're just starting to get into that one, so the next few slabs will be even more vivid, I guess. And then the triple crotch up here, you get two crotch feathers coming together here. So you have both these limbs coming down to here. So I think the next one is gonna be the best one, or the first best one. This is really cool. A really awesome bark inclusion and some crotch figure on that side. This is looking really nice. It'll be dinner time and it looks like it's gonna rain, so I gotta pack everything up here. And then I'll keep going with this maybe tomorrow. There's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuts left. And then this slab or this log will be done. So it is the next day. Today is supposed to be about as warm as it's gonna get for the next few days. And it's only like, it's right at freezing right now. So I figured I'd go outside today, get some more milling done, get that out of the way. So tomorrow I can spend some time inside when it's gonna be cold. So this last cut did not go very well. I had the blade dive quite considerably throughout the middle of the cut. Actually what happened, as I see it now, as I entered this wider area, the blade rose and then it dove, and then I've got it to kind of level out again. Now I had a similar problem on the last slab that I cut. The blade did dive a little bit, but nowhere near as much as this. When I finished the last cut, I noticed that the tension on the blade was a little low, so I thought maybe the tension was too low and that caused it to kind of wander. So this time on this cut, I watched the tension, and the tension was right on the whole way through the cut. So I think the blade is just too dull, or I'm just feeding too fast for the sharpness of the blade to make this cut nice and straight. It's not super dull, but it is a lot more dull than a new blade is. So I'm going to take this blade off of here and put a new blade on here. This will be blade number 4, and the blade number 2 and blade number 3 are still sharp enough to mill some smaller stuff. So I'm totally okay if I can only get through one log this size with one blade or something, because that's not that big of a deal. So now at this point, there's a few options of how to correct this. Now obviously if I just set the mill to do another cut at the same depth, there'd be this really skinny spot in the middle of this board, which wouldn't be very ideal. So that means I can make a cleanup pass, maybe take a ½ inch off this whole thing and then level it out a little bit more. That's one option. What I'm going to do is actually cut this slab thicker to kind of allocate or keep this in mind, so that if this was to be used as one solid board, by the time you surface this dip out of here, it's going to be at the same thickness as any of the other boards. That's not going to screw me up at all because I'm still referencing off the top of the boards. I'm not using the bed for reference. If I was using the bed for reference, doing that would screw up the rest of the boards all the way down to the bed. All right, I'm gonna get the slab out of the way and then make a cut. Oh, that's cool. This has got a lot of curl down here. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yeah. Huh? That's pretty cool. There's this section here. That's cool. I like that. That's really cool. And then over here we got the curl underneath the branch there. And this is, it's okay, it's boring. It's all straight grain. Kind of boring. But yeah, that new blade cut a lot faster. So I think that's gonna be, I was kind of wondering how many of these big logs I can do with one blade. So I think for every large log I do, I'll just figure I'll switch a new blade on for each log, which isn't that big of a deal because those blades will still cut some smaller stuff. So not too concerned about that. All right, let's make the next cut here. This should be stable enough, but you know, it happened, kind of learned that last time just because it looks stable. Doesn't mean it actually is, but this will be the last cut I get before I have to flip it, but there isn't really a whole lot left. I sawed into the wedge. I guess it doesn't really matter. I was like, where's all this green stuff? There's all this green sawdust shooting up the side. Check it out. What kind of tree was that? So yeah, not a whole lot left here. Get all my stabilizers out of here. Probably grab a piece of 8/4. Yeah, that's probably gonna be it. All right, not a whole lot here. It's a little bit there. This is garbage. And this is probably some garbage got a crack in it. Yeah, one little board. Yeah. So there we go, this one's all sliced up and ready to go. I also got the birch tree sliced up as well. And this thing was absolutely amazing. There was a ton of figure in this log, some really awesome crotch figure and some really awesome curl. Just absolutely beautiful boards. These birch boards are probably my favorite ones so far of anything I've cut. So just like the smaller maple crotch, this log is sitting over here kind of in a staging area because I'll be stacking this log on top of a bigger ash log that I have back there as soon as I get that one cut, just to save some space. So these will be moving again. Can't wait for that. So that's about it for this one. Thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on the sawmill or anything back in the shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.